Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for taking a little bit of time out of your Monday morning to join us. We appreciate you spending a small part of your day with us. My name is Brian Griffin, a marketing assistant here at Messer Financial Group. And if you're on this call, you're already familiar with Messer. We actually are putting this together for agents who have been with us for a year or less than a year. And we just want to go over some basic things. We want to make sure that you understand all the tools that are available to you. And just to let you know a little bit about myself, once again, my name is Brian Griffin. And I've actually been with Messer going on 2 years, but I've actually been in the insurance business for 10. Back in 2010 is when I did get my life license, and then I got my Medicare license in 2011. So, anyhow, I just wanted to go through what I want to do today is make sure that you are fully aware of all the tools that are available to you. So, what we want to do is we want to go through today's agenda for you. So, the first thing we're going to do is get to know a little bit about Messer, because I know a lot of times we will come on with different uplines, but we don't really necessarily know their story. I've really already told you a little bit about my story, but I'll go into that a little more in depth. And then we're going to dig into messerfinancial.com, where a lot of these tools that you may not know or are aware of are actually hidden right there at messerfinancial.com. So we're going to look at some free tools. We'll look at mymfg.app. That's actually an enrollment tool. We'll look at our all-in program, and then we're going to talk a little bit about something that's new to Messer, which is Ken Smith sales training, sales lessons from the masters, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So Messer Financial was established back in 2004. We actually had two agents that got together to put this wonderful company together. So this is not something that was an investment that people thought was going to be a great investment opportunity. These are two agents that actually did exactly what it is that you do today. Those two agents were Mr. Roy Messer and Mr. Bill Rice. So what has happened is it's actually gone from these two agents to thousands of agents across the country. We're actually now represented in 40 states, and that is including you also. And so we appreciate you choosing Messer, but we want to make sure that you have all of the tools needed to be successful. So I want you to think about something. I want you to imagine that you want to build your dream house and you have everything in mind. You know exactly how you want it to look. And so now what you have to do, now that you have everything kind of figured out, you know how many floors, how many rooms, you know what the square footage is, even down to the driveway. And then it comes down to having to hire someone. So you make a few calls and you narrow it down to two people or two companies, and you have to decide between these two companies who it is that you want to build your dream house. And so the first person that shows up is one guy. He shows up in a Honda Civic, and he has just a few tools. And he doesn't have a crew, and he says, you know something, I can get this done. And obviously, he's probably going to come in at the lowest bid. The second crew comes in, and he has a group of folks with him. He has trucks, he has tools, he has everything that he needs in order to do what needs to be done to build your dream home. Which one are you going to choose? Now, obviously, you're going to choose the one on the right. You want the person that has the most tools and capability to do the best job for building your dream home. What we want to do is we want to make sure that you are the agent on the right. We want to make sure that you're the one that has the most tools in order to be successful. All right. So when you first come into this business, a lot of the times you are feeling overwhelmed because you're not exactly sure what direction you need to go. So you start to think about all the different things that you don't know, and it can be a little bit overwhelming. So what we want to do here at Messer is we want to break that up so it's something that's a little bit more manageable for you. We want to make sure that you understand the nuances, but not only just do we want to make sure that you understand your product. If you're going to do Medicare Advantage, we want to make sure you understand Medicare Advantage or life or whatever the case may be. But we also want to make sure that you understand sales, that you understand how to brand yourself, that you understand the digital side of things. So we want to cover all the bases to make sure that you're going to be a successful agent with us. All right. So now we're going to get into the meat. MESSERfinancial.com. So MESSERfinancial.com is our website. And so when you go into this website, I know that it looks pretty basic, but there are so many things that are actually hidden within this website that's going to help you through the processes that you go through and help you answer the questions and help you do all the things that you need in order to be a successful agent with Messer. So primarily when you go onto messerfinancial.com, the primary place that you're probably going to go is under agent resources. So when you click on agent resources, you're actually going to see a lot of the different options that are available to you, different things that you can go into. You see ACA, AHIP, carrier incentives, excuse me, commission info, contract status, E&O, our events calendar, lead resources, learning center, online contracting, product lines, and quote tools. I want you to make sure that when you go to messerfinancial.com that you go through these different places so you know exactly what is available to you, because there's a lot of hidden gems right under agent resources. So if you do click on it, this is the page that's going to come up, and you can click on whatever it is that you want, that you are trying to learn a little bit about. The first thing that you're going to do when you come on with Messer Financial, and hopefully all of you have already done this, is you're actually going to set up your online contracting. So your online contracting is what's going to give you the ability to be able to set up your contracts for carriers, for you to be appointed with different carriers. If you don't do this, your business is going to be stalled out. So when you go onto under agent resources and online contracting, or your upline may have actually sent you a link to sign in, but this is what you're going to do. So when you go into online contracting, the first thing that you're going to see is it's going to go ahead and ask you for your username, your password. But obviously, if you're a new user, you're going to select new user. Once you select new user, it's going to take you to this page. And all you're going to do is you're going to actually go through, you're going to fill this information out, whether it be social and last name, or your state license, or what state you're licensed in, and then also your state license number. Once you complete that, what's going to happen is you're going to receive an email. And I know some of you have already done this, but I want to make sure that I go through this because there's some who may not have even done this yet. But once you receive an email, you'll be able to go in and you'll be able to log in using the email address that you provided and the password that you set up. Now, I want you to keep in mind, if you ever forget your password, you can actually click right where it says password recovery and you can set up a new password. And also keep this in mind. If you're an agent that has used SureLC before with a different upline, you're going to be creating a new account specific to Messer Financial Group. What you don't want to do is add carriers to an upline that you're actually leaving. So you're going to be setting up a brand new portal or brand new profile under Messer Financial Group. So once you set that profile up, you'll have a few different things come up. Now, initially, you actually will see some privacy notices. You'll go ahead and you can click to accept or agree on those, but then it'll bring you to this page. Now, where it says My Info, that is where you want to go when you're setting this up initially. What this is going to do is this is going to allow you to have all of your information, your name, your NPN. Now, all of this is going to carry over from when you set up the account. Excuse me, but there's a few things though that you may not have completed that you want to make sure that you put in here. Anything that does have a red asterisk is required information. So you want to make sure that you have all of your required information, and then anything additional that you want in here, you'll go ahead and you'll put in. So at the bottom of the screen, you see a couple different things. You see these boxes that are going across the bottom of the screen. What we want to do is you basically are going to want to go into each of these boxes and fill out the required information. When the required information is there, you'll see a green check mark pop up. If there is information that is missing, or if there is a change, like for example, you see this red exclamation point where it says licenses, that means that there's either an issue or that there's a change that you need to look at. Okay. So once you go in there and once you have all green check marks across the bottom here, you'll be ready to request an appointment. So when you initially go in, so once you complete that, the first thing that you're going to do, you're going to select carrier. Let me go back. You're up in the top right hand corner where you see appointment request. You're actually going to click on that and it's going to take you to this page. It's going to take you to carrier selection. Now, if you're just setting the page up, what you're going to do is you have to select Messer Financial Group first, because you're setting up your contracting with Messer first. Then you can go back and you can individually select which carriers you want to be appointed with. So once you select Messer Financial Group, you're going to select next, and it's going to take you to this page, which is your license states. So any states that you're licensed in are going to pop up on this page, and you can select all of them. You can select just your resident. It doesn't matter. Um, but and then on the right hand side, you're going to select which products you're going to be selling for Messer. So if you're going to be selling everywhere for Messer, you can go ahead and hit select all. Just keep in mind that if you just do your resident state here and you want to add additional states later, you can do that. That's not a problem at all. So I don't want you to think that if I only do my resident state, can I go back and do? Yes, you can do that. When we click next, it's going to take us to our training page. And this lets you know what training may be required. Now, for myself, I do a lot of life. So I am required to do anti money laundering training. The great thing that this is actually a recent development, but the great thing that is now available in SureLC is actually AML training, and it is free. So there's nowhere else that you need to go to complete your AML training. You're going to do it right here inside of SureLC. Once you go in and you complete it, it automatically uploads into the system. So you don't have to worry about attaching it. You don't have to worry about going to Limra or going to all these different sites and possibly paying for AML training. You can do it right here inside of SureLC. So we're going to hit next again. It's going to take us to our questions. So you're going to have to answer each and every one of these questions that come up. When you answer these questions, if you do have a yes, it's going to ask you to attach paperwork. It's going to ask you to expand a little bit on that particular question. If you don't, it will not allow you to move forward. So just keep in mind. So if you've had a bankruptcy, if you've had a felony, if you've had whatever the case may be, you want to make sure that you have the information available to be able to explain what those circumstances were. When we click next, it's going to take us to this page. So this is actually a review of paperwork page. Now on this particular page, when you go on this page, what it's asking you to do is review all the information. So you're going to have to scroll all the way down to the bottom. If you do not scroll to the bottom, it will not let you complete it. So you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom, making sure that the information is correct. If the information is not correct, you can select previous in the top right hand corner here and go back and correct whatever information needs to be corrected. Once you've gotten to the bottom of this page, in the top right hand corner where it says confirm, that will light up. It will become active. All you have to do is click confirm, And once you click confirm, it's going to ask you to apply your signature, which is something that you will have already set up. It'll ask you to apply your signature and you're done. And that's what you are going to do with each carrier one at a time. Now, each carrier may have a few different questions for you, but this is basically how you're going to request appointments for each different carrier. All right, so we got that taken care of. Also, I want you to know that we do have E&O insurance available to you. So, if you do need to purchase E&O, it is available through messerfinancial.com. Under agent resources, you'll see E&O, and you can actually apply for it right there on the website. Also, what you'll find are carrier lists. So any the information that you may need about a carrier as far as how do I submit business? Where do I submit business? How do I get to their homepage? Whatever the case may be, when you go to our carrier list, you'll see all of our carriers here. And if there's information that you need about this particular carrier, you're just going to click on the carrier name. When you click on the carrier name, that information is going to come up. So we want to make sure that we have this information readily available to you. And once again, this is under the carrier list. So here's some tools right here that I want to make sure that each one of you know is available to you. So as an agent out in the field, one of the best tools that you can have is actually the ability to quote on the spot when you're talking to someone. So when you have that ability, it just makes things much easier. You're not having to log into each individual carrier, but you can actually quote right on the spot. Well, these are tools as far as where you see Medicare supplement, Medicare Advantage, PDP, hospital indemnity, final expense, and dental quotes. This is a free quote tool, as is the life quote tool. This is an invaluable resource for you as an agent. If this is not something that you have set up yet, you need to go onto messerfinancial.com under agent resources, click on quote tools, and you need to request to be set up with this. When you click on this one, the second one here, where it says med sups all the way to dental quote, it'll take you to this page. What you want to do is you want to request an account. When you request to have this account set up, you're just going to put in the information that I have right in front of you. First name, last name, phone. Your username is going to be your email. You will set up your own password and you will submit. Once you submit, it's going to go to our producer support department. They are going to approve you. The process normally does not take more than 24 hours, but this is a tool that is free. This is not a tool that you have to pay for. I know many quote tools that I've used in the past because I was a final expense guy. I would pay $30 a month for a quote tool. So this is something that we are providing to you at no cost. So I want to make sure that you're taking full advantage of it. The next quote tool, if you write fully underwritten life, and this is specifically for term and also for guaranteed universal life, you want to make sure that you request this quote tool, the life quote tool. When you click on the life quote, this is going to pop up on your screen and you're going to select create an account. When you select create an account, this is what is going to populate. So you're just going to put in your first name, last name, and email, and you are going to set up some security questions for yourself. So please make sure that you write down the answers to your security questions if you don't think you're going to remember them, if they're not obvious. But once you do that, once again, this information is going to be forwarded over to our producer support department, and they will approve it for you. That way, you'll have access to run quotes however you choose. So I wanted to make sure I went over that because what I've been discovering is a lot of our agents that have been with us, some even for years, were not aware that we had a free quote tool available to them. So we want to make sure that you know that this is something that you can use while you are in the field. All right. So the next thing I wanted to go over is Messer's Learning Center. So this is something that is invaluable to you as an agent. And why do I say that? Because we were talking about tools. We want to make sure that you have all the tools that are available to you. And in this short period of time, I've already gone over a few tools that I believe is going to help you in your business. But in Messer's Learning Center, what we do here is this is where all of our trainings are stored. So if you want to learn something about a different carrier, if you want to learn about, like right here, we just did uh, a webinar on Allwell. You want to go in and you want to learn about Allwell and their telephonic enrollment, you click here. The training is right there. You want to learn about Humana's DSNP in South Carolina, you click here. And this is actually going to be here. It's not going to go away. So you can actually go in here and you can learn about each individual carrier. And this is going to help you be more sharp when you are out in the field. So take full advantage of this. We do webinar workshops throughout the year. Um, and once we complete the workshop, normally within 48 hours, you will see that webinar posted right here in the Learning Center. So you want to be sure that if you can't be live, now the best thing about being live for our webinars is you get to ask questions. So when you ask questions, you'll get, whatever nuanced uh, question that you have will be answered normally on the spot. But this is a tool right here that you want to make sure that you utilize. You want to make sure that you are on the webinars. And if you can't be on the webinars, you want to go into the Learning Center to listen to it. That's something that you want to make sure that you use, because this is going to keep you sharp. Now, Messer, we do have a lead program. We actually have a few different things that are available to you. But when you go once again under agent resources and you click on lead resources, you'll see this. And if you have an opportunity to be able to earn leads while you're with Messer. And one of the ways that you earn that is if you write as few as 8 apps per month, you can get a free 1,000-piece lead drop. So this is something that is going to be available to you. And we're working on some other programs also that we believe are going to be very helpful to you as an agent. So once we look at that, now we get to my MFG. So my MFG, it's an industry leading proprietary quote and enrollment software. So basically what this is, my MFG is actually a way for you to enroll your clients all in one place. You're not going to have to go from one carrier site to another carrier site, but this is going to allow you to quote and enroll. Right now, it's set up for Medicare Advantage and ACA, but we are working on these others. You'll be able to do side by side comparisons, in depth CRM with client profiles. You'll be able to receive leads and organize them how you choose, view your production stats, view your appointments. If you have a downline, you can view your downline's activity and see what they're doing. You can run reports. If you want to see who's turning 65, who has who's having birthdays, who has anniversaries, you can pull those reports out of this resource. This tool is something that can be invaluable to you. There is a caveat though. You do need to have at least 2 carriers that you are ready to sell with. So what that means is you've requested an appointment, and not only have you requested an appointment, but you've gone through the certifications and the carrier is saying you are ready to sell that particular carrier. If you don't have at least 2 carriers that you're ready to sell, you're not going to be able to utilize my MFG. So that's something that you want to make sure that you get taken care of. But once again, this right now is currently set up for Medicare Advantage and ACA. So you can actually quote and enroll Medicare Advantage and ACA at this time. And we are constantly making improvements on this particular tool. If you do not have this tool, if you are not using my MFG, you are making a mistake. You want to make sure that this is something that you have in your back pocket. If you're not, if you don't have it and you know that you're ready to sell, you want to email mfgmarketing@messerfinancial.com. We'll go ahead and we'll check your appointment statuses with carriers and we can get you set up on it. So make sure that this is something that you take full advantage of. The next thing, all in. This program to me is exactly what every agent is looking for. When you look at the all in program, to me, this is a game changer. So let's take a look at it. So the all in program, as an all in agent. Now, what does that mean, first of all, to be an all in agent with Messer? What that means is you are going to be exclusively writing business with Messer. We have well over 80 carriers available to you. So this is not like we're asking you to be captive with one carrier. We're saying that if you write all your business with Messer, we're going to partner with you to help you build your business and grow your business. We want to be all in with you if you're all in with us. So what does that entail? So what that entails is E&O at no cost, a client facing website, leads to start the AEP season. Also, you can earn leads based on production for SEP seasons. Also, as I talked about, you have access to MyMFG. You also have the ability to purchase group health insurance after achieving top producer status for 1 year. And then also, we have something that is called stock appreciation rights and also retirement. So I want you to sit and think about this. Many of you may already have all of your carriers with us. So why not become a part of the all in program? If it's something that you're already doing, if this is something that you want to take advantage of, once again, you want to email mfgmarketing@messerfinancial.com. Now, this is not a giveaway. I want you to understand this. With this particular program, we are having some production requirements. So when you request this, the information is going to be sent over to you so you can read through it so you know exactly what it is that is required of you to be a part of this program. But this is an awesome program. One of the features that's also available with this is called Office in a Box. Office in a Box has over 25 features available to you. And what it is, it's a virtual office. This is you're going to be assigned a number. With that number, you can you can make calls, you can receive calls, you can fax from that number, you can text from that number. Within this particular feature, you can do screen sharing, you can do conference calls, you can do encrypted file sharing. All of this is something that is available to you. This all in program is something to me that every agent needs. So if this is something that you think you'll be interested in, and once again, all we ask is that you be exclusive with us, you be all in with us, we'll be all in with you. All right. So now let's talk a little bit about some of the things that are available to you because I believe each of you are going to be top producers with Messer Financial. So we have once a year, we hold what's called a top producer summit. So the top producer summit is actually for our top agents in the company. Now, the requirements differ from one year to the next. I believe last year was 200 applications written or 200 policies written. And if that is a goal, or if that is an amount that you do hit, what we do is we actually fly you in to Charlotte, North Carolina. We put you up, you and a guest, and you will be able to not only, and we have different events that are available that we're going to put on for you. We're going to wine and dine you, but you'll have an opportunity to rub elbows with some of the top people in the industry, some of the top people within Messer Financial, and you will be able to maybe find out some things that is working for someone else that you never thought about. You'll have an opportunity to ask the questions that you may want to ask as far as carriers, and the carriers are going to roll out any new things that are going to be coming. You'll be the first to know if there's any new technology that Messer is going to be bringing out. You'll be the first to know when you come to this. So the top producer summit is a goal that everybody wants to set as an agent with Messer, because this is going to give you an opportunity to be able to be hand in hand, elbow to elbow with the top people in the industry. So I'm going to bounce out of my PowerPoint here just for a second. And what I want to do is there's a couple other things that I want to show you. So going into Messer's primary website and into our website, one of the things that I wanted to make sure also that you know is available to you, because as agents, we're out in the field and we're talking to a lot of people. And sometimes we may come across someone that asks you, hey, do you do group? Are you able to write business for group? And now I know the average agent is going to be like, no, I really don't do group. I only do individual. I need you to know that Messer Financial, we do have a group department that will help you. If you have someone or you know someone that is interested in group insurance, you want to make sure that you contact our group department and let them know, and they'll actually walk you through the process and let you know how this is going to be done, and you can still get paid on it. So those are leads that you don't want to just throw away. If you know someone that is interested in group insurance, you want to make sure that you call our group department and let them know, hey, listen, my neighbor, I was just talking to them. They are, the head of a bank or whatever the case may be. They were asking me about group insurance because they know I do group. Is there something that we can do for them? And our group department will walk you through that process. The last thing that I want to go over with you, which I think is just phenomenal. We have a gentleman that is actually, he's one of the top sales trainers in the country. And he's actually has a best-selling book called Sales Lessons from the Masters. And he's actually been doing some training with us, and it has been amazing. Mr. Ken Smith is actually on board with Messer now. And he, number one, he has a blog. And when you go onto Messer Financial's website, you'll see where it says Ken Smith blog at the end here. He drops golden nuggets in his blog. What he is a proponent of is getting back to the basics. With a lot of us, if you're new to sales, if you're new to insurance, you want to make sure that you go through this blog and that you touch on it and that you read through some of the information that he provides. Now, he also has been doing webinars. He's actually done two. Ken has done sales lessons from the masters part 1 and sales lessons from the masters part 2. Phenomenal trainings. Phenomenal trainings. This These are the types of things that you want to make sure that you take advantage of, because these are the things that are going to keep you sharp when you're talking to the people that are in front of you. Ken Smith's Sales Lessons from the Masters. And if you haven't gotten it, get his book also. It's a great book. I actually just got it. And it is a phenomenal book, and it's going to take you back to the basics. And if there's issues that you're having, you'll find out why as you go through this book, because a lot of times what we do is we get away from the basics. So I wanted to make sure that you're fully aware of exactly what it is that you have available to you. So if you have questions, if you are, let's say that you haven't become appointed with any carriers yet, and I just went through that information, and that maybe you have some questions and you're not exactly sure what you need to do, we have a live producer support department that you can call, and this is their number: 866-568-9649, extension 7813. Or you can email them at producersupport@messerfinancial.com. If you are about to submit business, new business, if you have questions about that, you can call new business, which is actually the same number: 866-568-9649, extension 7813. Or you can email them at newbusiness@messerfinancial.com. If you know of other agents other than yourself, you just listen to this and you say, you know something, I have a friend that I know would be interested in taking advantage of some of this. Call our marketing department at 866-568-9649, extension 7819. One of our marketers, they will talk to, if you know an agency that you think is going to be interested, if you're trying to build an agency, listen, you want to talk to one of our marketers. You want to make sure that that the people that you believe are going to benefit from Messer as agents, and let them talk to one of our marketers, and our marketers will walk them through exactly what it is that Messer can do for them. If you have any questions as far as marketing, email mfgmarketing@messerfinancial.com. When you are contracting and you have questions about contracting, you can email contracting@messerfinancial.com. So, once again, I want to welcome you all to Messer. I know some of you, you've been here for a while. Some of you have been here for a year. And you may have known all of this information, but maybe there's something that you did learn that you didn't know about. I appreciate you coming on and going through this process and listening. And if you have any questions at all, go ahead and email us. You can email us at mfgmarketing@messerfinancial.com. And I am more than happy to assist you in any way that I can. So, once again, my name is Brian Griffin, and I want to thank you for taking time out of your day. And if you have any questions, if there's anything that we can do to help you, please let us know. Once again, welcome to Messer Financial Group, and each of you have a phenomenal day.